Hi, this is Hilary,
And Anna Maria.
reporting under the marquee on our first impressions of Minions. And I have to say, for me, it just didn't quite have the heart that the first couple of Gru Despicable movies did. And I'm going to be really interested to hear what you think of it.
You stole my words. I agree. It didn't have the heart of Despicable Me. So let's go back to my place and talk it over. The story of the Minions, from their start as single-cell organisms in the prehistoric goop to their emergence on dry land and their bad luck at finding a villain boss who can survive their care. Fast forward to the 60s. Kevin, Stewart, and Bob are on a quest to find a new boss for the Minions. They go to VillainCon International in Orlando, Florida, and audition for Scarlet Overkill, the supreme villainess of all villains. She wants them to steal the crown of England to fulfill her childhood dream of becoming queen. Unfortunately, they succeed all too well, which is the worst thing that could happen to them. Okay, we're back and ready to talk about the movie. So what did you like about Minions?
Well, you gotta love the Minions. I always have. I probably always will. I particularly liked it when they sang. The musical numbers with the Minions are just fabulous. Speaking of the music, I loved that they took it back to the 60s, which probably really dates both of us. But, I know that music. I like that music. I loved Kevin, Bob, and Stewart.
I really enjoyed the references to all the 60s in the movie. Loved the musical numbers. My absolute favorite was the moment that they broke into Hair. It was a showstopper, and it was probably my favorite moment. The relationship between Kevin, Stewart, and Bob was quite nice. Really enjoyed it. Loved Sandra Bullock as Scarlet Overkill. She was quite fun. It was a lot that was good about it, but have some problems.
Yeah.
Okay, so what didn't you like about it?
I actually did figure out what the problem is with this movie on the way home. And it didn't have an arc. And
Okay, it took you that long to figure that out, huh?
I did figure it out on the way home.
I'm sorry, I figured it out in the movie. It was pretty obvious,
Yeah.
no arc.
But that's the thing. Nobody changes in this movie from beginning to end. The Minions are all exactly the same characters they were at the end as they were in the beginning. The villains didn't have an arc. Nobody changes, nobody grows. And that was what was so good about the first two Despicable Me movies, is that Gru in both movies has a really big arc.
Yeah.
And that's what made those movies work as well as they did.
Well, for a story, you need an arc. The problem with Minions is that it's basically just a big joke. And that can be good, but when you just play the joke and you don't have an arc or growth, then you're left wanting more at the end. You really don't have much of a story. Now, yes, they did go from point A to point B to point C on a quest to get things done, but when there's no internal growth, that's what leaves you wanting more, because they stayed the same from beginning to end. They were Minions, and Minions are quite fun, but it didn't make for a satisfying movie.
Yeah, it's just not quite enough.
No, it left me wanting more.
Yeah,
So
which is too bad,
It
and
was.
that's kind of, I think, where both of us are.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Another thing I didn't, well, I liked, but I'm old enough to understand, there was a lot of references to the 60s that if you're not a fan of the 60s and don't know a lot of the music at that time or the visual references, you're going to miss a lot of the jokes. So I'm thinking that grandparents are really going to enjoy this movie. But I'm not sure parents, when they take their kids, are going to get as many of the jokes.
Yeah, I said it dates both of us.
Yeah, it really does.
Really does.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to enjoy the musical numbers, but you may not quite get some of the humor on the musical numbers unless you actually know specifically the words to the song they're singing. So that was a problem, I thought.
For the age range, I would say 4 and up.
Yeah, any child that's old enough to sit through a movie will enjoy this.
Yes, it would be very fun actually for younger kids, and fun for older kids.
I think it's geared. The humor level is geared more for younger kids.
A bit.
A little bit, yeah.
And now for the tickets.
Okay, do you want me to go first? I may surprise you.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm sorry, this is a 3-ticket movie for me. There wasn't really any heart. I'm sorry. There was a little, maybe smidge of heart between Kevin and Bob, but just wasn't enough for me. It left me kind of unfulfilled.
And I thought that I was the hard grader.
Yeah.
I actually would give it 3.5. There were a lot of things in there that were a lot of fun. I would give it 3.5, but it's not going to stretch to 4 tickets.
No, definitely not. I won't even. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm usually a little more softer on these things, but it was a big disappointment to me. It's a good movie.
It's
Probably
fun.
won't bother seeing it again though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next movie review is going to be Pan on July 24th, and if you want to see it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks.
We'll see you then.